Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, and this is episode 141. God, a whole lot's been going on this week. I'm so excited to share things with you. But first off, just a quick reminder, you have 9 days from today, October 22nd, to get your strip sweater knitted up and entered into the finished object photo only thread. Wonderful prizes, just a quick reminder. A skein of Wool Miza 100% Superwash Merino in the Bussy colorway, and a skein of Daisy Knits Vine Base, which is, the color is called Tango, and the Vine Base is Superwash BFL and 20% nylon, 80% Superwash BFL. Like I said, in the Tango colorway, which is beautiful, fun, like kind of a green. Kind of a tealy green, and the green, I love this. I thought this was beautiful. She let me pick it out. Jennifer of Daisy Knits. So wonderful prizes. Can't wait to give those away. We got some more entries this week, which was so exciting. I love seeing everybody's striped sweaters. I don't know what it is about a striped sweater, but you throw stripes on it, it kind of makes my heart go pitter-pat. What else? So yeah, 9 days. Get it done. You can totally get it done. I know you can. Finished objects. I have three finished objects, and I can't show them to you. I'm so sorry. Trust me, I want to so bad. So the reason I can't show it to you is because the pattern's coming out next week. So excited. I had a lot of fun designing this. I had I don't know, it's so funny because it was something like I was kicking around for a little bit, and then like everything comes together, all the numbers and the math and everything just boom, and it's like, it's kind of this magical moment of yay. But I'm really excited about it. I was working on it at the knit shop, so the ladies at the knit shop always kind of get a little sneak preview, and plus 2 of the ladies at the knit shop are test knitting it, because one volunteered. So she's like, hey, you got to test knit, I'll test knit. And then the other, we actually, what we're doing, so it's a wearable accessory. You need 50 yards of 5 different colors of worsted weight wool, or 1 skein might that's like 220 yards, like a Cascade 220 or something like that, might be enough. And I really stress might, because I actually used, instead of, let's see, did I say 50? I think, yeah, 50 yards, right? Of 5 colors, and I used less than that. So when I was weighing it, instead of 25 grams, because I divided all the yarn up into 20, instead of 25 grams, I only used like 18. So there could be a chance, but to err on the side of caution, I'm going to say, you know, but it's, you got to do the different colors. It's just so much fun. So it'll still work with one, but when you have more colors, it's just so fun. So 5 different colors, 50 yards of worsted weight in each color, and then there's going to be buttons. So you'll need 5 buttons. I got 5 buttons that were all different colors, but coordinating with the colors that I used. You could use all one color if you just have a button. They need to be 1 to 1 1/4 inches, and there's optional. So I wrote the pattern to have buttons and not to have buttons, because maybe you just don't have buttons and you really wanted to make it. You can make it without buttons. So both test knitters I've heard back from, found no errors. Fingers crossed. I've had patterns where testers have found no errors, and then somebody's knitting it. They're like, yeah, row something or other. I'm like, oh, because we're only human. But I'm excited. I'm so excited to put this out, because it was a kind of a spur of the moment thing. Inspiration hit, and I ran with it. So I'm happy with it. It's just a fun knit. I think it's quick. It'll be the perfect holiday gift. Depending on the colors you use, I did one with really bright colors, and I did one with more jewel tones. and they both came out equally as beautiful. It's kind of your taste or the person's taste that you're knitting it for. It's going to work for everybody, I think. I definitely think it's something that is gender friendly, once again, depending on the color. And if you have a man who likes to wear bright, bold colors, more power to him, go for it. So, I think it's fun. It has a fun name, which I'm not telling you yet. I'm excited. So I hope you all like it too. It'll be a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. It'll be $5, and the plan is to get it out Tuesday or Wednesday. My phone dinged. Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So it kind of depends on where I can get pictures taken, because it's kind of bright and colorful, and it's been so dreary here. It is rain, and it's been gray, and it's been blah, and I'm like, I want such a bright, colorful setting. So we'll see what I can come up with. I kind of saw a place that would be perfect today, but it's a store, and I don't know like what the rules would be if they'd allow me to go and take pictures. I mean, you just go and do it. What are they going to do? Kick you out? You don't want to do that. So, like I said, 3 finished objects. You will get to see them all next week. I am so excited. Or you'll at least get to see 2 of them. One of them might go to the knit shop this weekend. Because at the knit shop, so I showed you last week, the whole thing was inspired by these buttons I had gotten when the button guy came to the knit shop. So then I was talking with the owner. She's like, why don't we kit it up, right? Like, put the buttons, divide up the yarn, so you're only getting the yarn you need. You're getting 25 grams, so that's a little over 50 yards, be 55 yards per color, and we'll do a kit with the pattern, the whole thing. So 2 kits are already gone because people bought them and saw the pattern and they were gone. So I think we only have like 3 left, because we did we did 7 kits. I used 2, one for me and one for the shop sample. So we had 5 kits, and then she's like, well, we might need to make more kits. I'm like, awesome, I have a kit. So I spent last weekend winding up all the skeins of yarn and dividing it up, and really excited about that. And works in progress, I guess, is where we move on to now. So, I worked a little, I forgot how long a sock head hat takes. I was like, oh yeah, a sock head hat. Psh, I'll whip that up in no time. Yeah, I was fooling myself. But I haven't worked on it a ton. It's been car knitting. I've been really busy this week, and I will talk more about that in a slice of life. But I'm impressed with myself how much I got done. I got 3 things done, and then I got this work done, and I have another pretty big thing started. So I have I don't know, it's maybe 1.5 inches. I'd say about 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. Started on the sock head hat. So, let's see if I can get it any closer. The colors are beautiful. That looks about right on my screen. So, it's kind of blues and greens. Kind of a gray stripe here. Knitting it out of, here's a tag. Online Super Sock from the Neptune collection. You get 100 grams. It doesn't say yardage, I don't think. I think it's all in German. See, if Josh, Auricula 82, I think it's 82 is the number. I'm so bad with numbers. Anyways, of the Dairyland Knits thing, he could totally translate this for me. I know it. So, like I said, oh, dropped it. Online Super Sock. Feel like a little jazzed up. I had a pumpkin spice latte. Woo! Let's see. Looks like I'm getting too much glare on it. But anyways, they have lots of fun colors all in the ball band. Might be a little hard to see because it's small, but such fun. There's this one that's like a raspberry and an orange and kind of a purpley color that keeps calling my name. It's like, Jenna, you want to take me home and make beautiful socks with me. And I keep telling it, no, sock yarn. Right now I'm cold sheeping it, and I am on a yarn diet. But this will be a shop sample for the LYS. And I always make my socket hats 2 inches shorter of the stockinette part that the pattern says, and they're the right length that I like. So I can get 2 socket hats out of a 100-gram skein. So I'm making one for the shop and then a second one to give the owner. So it feels like a light fingering weight yarn to me. But it's super soft. It's really nice to knit with. It's very stretchy. I don't know if it says fiber content. Not that I can... Okay. So it is 50% wool, 25% viscose, and 25% polyamide. So, yeah. So not overly woolly. But like I said, it has a real nice stretch, nice smooth feel to it. Never made socks out of it, so I'm curious how it holds up. Because like I said, that orangey, raspberry-ish purple kind of totally not my color, but I find beautiful colorway, really tells me it wants to be socks. So if you've made socks with the online Super Sock, I would love to know how they've held up. Because sometimes I'm like, I hate putting so much work into socks, and then like they don't hold up, and then I'm just annoyed, right? So that's one work in progress. And the only other thing that I've worked on that I started this week is a sweater. It's Harvest by Tin Can Knits. I love Tin Can Knits patterns. I find, personally, that Tin Can Knit patterns run a little big. But the nice thing is they come in such a huge range of sizes. Like, instead of going by 4-inch increments, they usually go in 2-inch increments, which I appreciate because I usually fall right between, like, 2 sizes. But what I really liked about this pattern is there's a model modeling it in the printable pattern, and it tells you that, okay, the model has such and such size bust, and she's wearing the whatever size. So the model is wearing the size that's 2 inches smaller than her actual bust measurement. That's great because I think the patterns run a little big. So I normally make one for a 38 to 39 inch bust. And I was like, the sizes I have to pick from are the medium, which is 37 inches, or the medium/large, which is 49 inches. Well, measuring my bust, I should go with the 39. But knowing that the pattern's run a little big, I was thinking 37, and I liked the way the one fit on the model. So I went down. I went with the medium, the 37-inch sweater for my 38, 39-inch bust. I think it's like 38 and a half. Not that you really care, but just to tell you how the size I went to for my build, in case if you're interested in making the sweater. I don't make my sweaters really tight, but I don't like big loose sweaters either. Some people, you like roomy sweaters, and that's fine. Then you might want to go with your actual measurement instead of the next size down. Simple pattern. Love Tin Can Knits. Love her patterns. Really easy. This is the back. So you have this nice stretchy garter edging, and then stockinette. You start with the edging. Now, you do a provisional cast on, and I'm not giving anything away, this is just a hint. So you do a provisional cast on, and then eventually you go, knit, pick up stitches, and then pull out your provisional cast on and pick those up. When I did that, it messed up the garter stitch. So I had a knit row where I should have had a purl row on the front. So what I ended up doing, because the way the pattern's written, I ended up having to cut my yarn, slide the stitches onto the other needle, and start back here to get it to line up right. I hope that makes sense. So if you're making this, and when you undo your provisional cast on, and you go and knit when you're supposed to knit, and it doesn't work out, that's what I had to do. I had to cut the yarn, slide the stitches onto my other needle, like they would have been you know, instead of knitting them, I just slid them on and then started on a wrong side row to make it match up. Because otherwise, where I would have the nice garter stitch where it knits, purls, knits, and purls, I would have had a knit, knit, knit row instead of a knit, purl, knit. I hope that makes sense. I probably just confused the pants off somebody. Anyways, it's a top-down raglan style, my all-time favorite style. It's this beautiful rust color. I think it's called ginger. It is Cascade 220. Regular 220. Let's see. So it is color number 2414. I love this. That looks about right to me. So beautiful. It's about the same color as my hair almost. And I usually go with a little more of a more pumpkin-y orange than a gingery orange. But I saw this and it's really close to the color used for the sample sweater in the pattern. The sample sweater in the pattern is Madelinetosh. I think it's glazed pecan. This is very close. So I bought this almost a year ago. I bought this 10 months ago for this pattern. I bought it specifically for that. And I was like, I had a friend who was like, oh, let's knit it together. And I'm like, okay, sure. So I go and start it. And then like I see her the next week. She's like, you know, with all the Christmas knitting I got to do, I just don't think I can do it right now. I'm like, that's fine. So I did go and knit it. And then I had to cap the ends because I only have one set of size 8 interchangeable needles. And you need a size 8 needle for my new pattern. So I had to take it off here, and I had been switching it. So I ended up just buying another size 8. So that's my only other work in progress, is my Harvest by Tin Can Knits. So I love everybody that I see on Ravelry. I love everybody that I see theirs on Instagram. And like I said, I've had this yarn for almost a year. I queued the pattern as soon as it came out. And it's a free pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, which is so awesome. So generous of Tin Can Knits to do that. And my really cute Kiki Boo bag that matches because it's like little gingery colored foxes. I get so many compliments on this bag. So I have no yarny goodness this week. But like I said, I did buy needles. So I used to buy Knit Picks Harmony needles. But Knit Picks kind of irked me with the whole security breach, numbers getting stolen, things. I don't shop there anymore personally. You want to, that's fine. No problems with that. But instead, the same company that makes the Knit Picks Harmonies makes the Knitter's Pride Dreams. Exact same thing. They just color their solid colors instead of the multicolor rainbows. So, just a size 8 Knitter's Pride Dreams. The thing I do like better about Knitter's Pride Dreams than the Knit Picks Harmonies is they print the size on the needle and on the metal part. So 2 different places on each needle, because sometimes it stinks. I have to find my needle sizer because they're not in the package, or I'm taking them off. I need to know what package to put them in. So, Knitter's Pride Dreams. And they're like a reddish pink color. Because each size is designated a color. So like all the size 8s will be the same color. I ordered these online from Etsy from Handsome Fibers. I had talked about them before. The last time I needed needles, I think I needed size 4s. And I also ordered those from Handsome Fibers. I was going to order them from Eat Sleep Knit. It doesn't count towards my Yarnathon yardage. And if you're ordering just needles from them, you're supposed to click priority shipping so they're not just put in an envelope. And I get free shipping. But when you pick priority shipping, it was going to charge me $6 to ship a pair of needles. When Handsome Fibers had them for the exact same price, and all of their needles have free shipping. So if you want to buy the cables and stuff for them, you pay a little extra for shipping for the cables, which is kind of silly because it really doesn't add much weight. But I get it. It's a business thing. I get it. But they have free shipping with their needles. They came packaged excellent, over and above and beyond. I don't think there was any way they could have gotten broken. Great customer service, and I ordered them and they were in my P.O. box 3 days later. So very happy with those. I will keep buying them from Handsome Fibers when I just need needles. And that's it. Like I said, no magazines or books this week. I haven't really seen a magazine that's knocked my socks off lately. So that's it for the knitting. I have a lot to talk about in the Slice of Life. So if you leave me now, I will see you next week. And if you're sticking around, here we go. Where do I start? So, my grandpa was supposed to come to dinner Sunday, and unfortunately he had gotten an infection, and he couldn't make it. And I was like super bummed. Like, it wasn't his fault. That's not why I was bummed. I was just bummed because by the time I found out, I already had the roast in the crock pot and everything going, and I'm like, wah wah. So I was gonna take dinner to him, and my cousin beat me to it. Like, I told my mom I was gonna do it, and she was like, oh, okay. But then my cousin calls her and says, oh, I'm going to bring Grandpa dinner. And my mom just goes, oh, okay, go ahead. And I'm like, why didn't you tell her I was going to do it? And she was like, well, I thought that way you didn't have to go to the trouble. And I'm like, oh, that like wasn't the point, right? Like, it was no trouble at all. But whatever. So I baked some cookies. So I still went and saw my grandpa that evening and took him the cookies. And he was like so touched and thrilled. And so then I was talking to my mom, and she's like, I said, well, why don't you take Grandpa to the emergency room? Because I felt like he should have went. She's like, he won't go. Okay. So I ended up going and calling and making a doctor's appointment for him first thing in the morning, Monday morning, and then picking him up and taking him to the doctor to make sure he went. Because I didn't want to just make the appointment and him not go. So I think he really appreciated it. He was like slightly annoyed, but glad he went because then it hadn't gotten that bad. They were able to get him on some meds, and he's on the med. So I went and checked on him yesterday as well, and he was feeling much better, and he was taking his meds. My mom stopped and checked on him after work, too, to make sure things were going well, and so he's so stubborn. I mean, it's a man thing, right? And he's older, and he really is stubborn. So, but we had a good time. I really enjoy hanging with him. He's lots of fun, even though he gives me this look a lot. Like, really, kid? Like, that and this one. Like, just eyebrows up, like, what? So, it's so much fun because his face is so expressive. Like, he doesn't need to tell you what he's thinking because his face says it all. So, and I think he did really good because, when my mom takes him to the doctors or something, because I'm not kidding you, I don't think he'd go by himself. Ever. So we always have to joke he needs a chaperone. So when my mom goes with them, she's kind of, she kind of takes, the lead role and directs him in everything. I gave him choices. I'm like, so, do you want me to drop you off at the door? And he goes, there's a parking spot right up front. You think I can't walk? And I'm like, nope. I just thought I'd ask. He goes, no, just park right there. I'll be fine. Okay. So it was fun. And then, I mean, okay, my grandpa smokes. He started smoking back before it was bad for you. He'll even tell you that. He'll go, well, when I was a kid, it was fine. So we get out. He goes, they said, we want to see you back in a week. And he goes, okay, well, you make my appointment, I'm going to go out for a smoke. I'm like, okay. So I'm making his follow-up appointment, and then I go out there. And it's cold, and it's like, you could feel a drizzle every once in a while starting to rain. And he looks at me, and he goes, you don't smoke in your car, do you? And I go, no, Grandpa, but you can if you crack the window. Totally won him over. Now, don't get me wrong. I did not want him to smoke in my car. Nobody has ever smoked in my car. But he rolled the window down, and it was a very short ride, and my car totally, like, I checked on it later, and it didn't stink. I promise. Trust me, I'm so sensitive to that kind of stuff. But, like, totally, he was, like, my best friend after that. Anybody who lets my grandpa smoke, you're in good with him. So that was kind of like my whole weekend, beginning of my week. It's been all about taking care of Grandpa. So I have to take him back to the doctor next week. And then, so I got home that afternoon from taking my grandpa to the doctor and running him around and everything. And then I got an email. So, I went and I took the test for the job that I was trying to get, and passed the test, did great, was waiting for the interview. I got an email that the position was canceled. So they decided not to hire anybody in. Wah, wah. Totally bummed. Because I thought it would have been totally perfect. So I kind of took yesterday to kind of sulk about it. Like, I didn't put real clothes on until I left to go visit my grandpa in the evening after dinner. Like, right after we got done eating, I went and checked on him and made sure he ate and everything. And so then today I got up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find another job. I was talking with my husband about it, and he had today off. So he went with me, and we drove around, and he kind of checked out some places. Because if he can find something better than what he's got now, I mean, why not, right? Not that he really found anything. It was mainly for me, but I think he was trying to make me feel better. So there were a few places I stopped in, and they're like, well, we're not really hiring right now, but we'll take an application. So I'd go out to the car and fill it out and take it back in. And so then finally, there was this place I kept saying that was local. I'm like, yeah, I wonder if such and such is hiring. And a while later, I think it would be fun to work at such and such. I really wonder if they're hiring. Maybe they just need seasonal help. So finally, we're getting ready to head back home. He's like, is there anywhere else you want to go? I'm like, yes, I want to go to this place. And he's like, okay, fine. Because we weren't really, like, on that side of town. So I went and I asked the lady, I'm like, oh, are you hiring, even if it's seasonal, part-time, I'll take whatever I can get. So she's like, well, do you just want seasonal? Because we're kind of busy all year round, Because I was like, because I said to her, well, because if it's seasonal, I'd be able to stay on, And so she goes, what's your name? So I told her, she goes, you know what, I like you. I'm like, what? She's like, go over, because there were two buildings. She's like, go over to the other building. That's where you put an application in. She's like, please go put an application in. So I went right over there, sat there at the table. There was a little table in there, and filled out the application, turned it right in. I got home half hour later. I was already home. It doesn't take an hour and a half to get home. I get a call. They want an interview later this week. So I totally have an interview. So I'm thinking, okay, if I already have an interview, like dropping it off an hour and a half later, like it's got to be a good sign, right? Like hopefully the lady that I talked to, and that's the building I want to work in. That's why I went into that building and not the other building. Because she asked my name and everything, so I'm like, okay, hopefully, she asked the H&R girl. Because she goes, the H&R girl just walked out of here. I'm like, the lady who held the door for me as I came in? She goes, yep, that was her. I'm like, oh. But when I went into the other building, she was there. And I told her, I said, so-and-so in that building sent me over here, to get an application. So I'm so excited. It'll work. Like, the hours are good. I can still get my kids to school and stuff. My husband will be home to get them from school and everything. And I think it'll work. The only thing I worry about now is that it's going to interfere with the hours that I'll be able to be at the knit shop. Because they really wanted somebody who can do weekends. So I'm hoping. I'm going to ask, but it's not going to be a deal breaker on my end. But, if I can work, if they want me to work Saturday and Sunday, can I have Friday off? Or if they want me to work, Friday and Sunday, can I have Saturday? I want one of the days off so I can at least go to the shop one day a week. I hope. Because I can work any of the hours. It's a small little retail place, and they're not open real late, and they don't open super early. So it's really ideal. Really ideal. So I'm hoping. They're open 9 hours out of the day. So if I'm not I mean, I don't know if I do. Anyways, I don't know. I will find out more at the interview. I don't know if they're hiring full or part-time. They didn't say. There were boxes to check, and I checked both. And then made a little note. Either, whatever's available. Because I think it would be a fun place to work. It's something I've never done before, and I've done a lot of jobs. I've worked a lot of retail. I've sold ladies' undergarments. I've sold toys. I worked at a toy store. I worked in a factory. So I ran machines. I've tested and checked parts, did quality control type stuff. I've been a waitress. I've been a cashier at a grocery store. I've done stock at a grocery store. I mean, I've done so many jobs. And so it's kind of fun to find something I've never done before. So, and that's just it. I really didn't want to do, like, just a regular, like, cashier. I didn't want to work for a big box store. You know, and I really don't want to waitress. I'm so thankful for the wonderful servers I've had out there, especially lately. I try to tip well, but when I was a waitress, that was the most degrading job I ever had. I did not have a good experience doing it. I did not enjoy it one bit. I mean, there were good days and bad days, but more bad than good. And I was a good waitress. I mean, I'm just saying. It's just not for everybody. And I don't want to work in a nursing home, and it's not that I don't like old people, because I love old people. And I mean, like, my great-grandma's in her late 80s, and she's one of my most favorite people on earth. But it takes a special person to take care of them, because I would be heartbroken all the time, I'm sure. It's just, healthcare is not something I can do, and I know that. And I think it's important to know what you can and can't do before you get into it. Because, like I said, there's just some things that are just not for everybody. Just like, there's a lot of people that shouldn't be working retail. Some people are not meant to be customer service people. So, but I'm excited. So out of all the places I stopped today, that was the place I wanted the job. And like I said, the hours are going to be so perfect. So, like I said, I'm curious to find out if it's full-time or part-time, and if I can get one day off a week on a Friday or Saturday. Like I said, I'm not going to let it be a deal breaker for the job on my end. Hopefully they would be willing to work with me. They hire like a lot of college students in part-time. And the lady asked me in the building, like, where I want to work. She goes, "Oh, so are you like high school or college looking for a part-time job?" And I'm like, no, I'm not, but thank you. So, I started off the day feeling old and underqualified, and now I'm feeling young and a little more full of potential. So, that's a good thing. But, so I will let you know how that goes next week. Hopefully I will have good news to report. I mean, I will still record every week. It just either will be later in the day or possibly on a different day. I just kind of got to see where the chips fall. But it should not interfere whatsoever with me recording. I want full-time, but in a way, part of me just wants part-time. I mean, I kind of went out today looking for part-time, but if they want full-time, I'm totally going to take it because I can totally use the money right now. I'm just saying. My car needs fixed. A little incident happened, not an accident. I was stupid. I went to take a turn and I overestimated how far the curb was sticking up, hit the curb, messed up my alignment. Not huge, but enough to annoy me. So I gotta get that fixed. So, and with the holidays coming and everything, I totally could use this job. So fingers crossed. Thank you everybody who has said such nice and encouraging things, and letting you know that you're thinking of me and hoping the best for me, and got fingers crossed, and it means so much. It really, really does. So, alright, that's it for me this week. I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. I'm RetroLemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Fitbit, and Weight Watchers. So until next week, I will see you then. Bye.